The warrior who learned to smile. The bar smelled like burnt metal and something sweet that humans called whiskey, and Maya Torres sat in the corner watching the room like she always did, because soldiers never stopped being soldiers, even when the war ended 3 years ago. She wore simple clothes now instead of the combat gear that saved her life more times than she could count. But her eyes still tracked every movement, and her hands still rested near where her weapon used to be before the peace treaties made carrying one illegal for retired military personnel. The door opened, and Maya felt her spine straighten automatically the way it always did when something changed in her environment, and that was when she saw her. The alien woman stood in the doorway, and every human in the bar turned to stare. Because even after 3 years of peace, most people had never seen a Valorian up close, and definitely not one who looked like she did. She was tall, taller than any human in the room, with skin that shimmered like oil on water, shifting between deep purple and midnight blue, depending on how the light hit her, and her eyes were silver without any pupils, just pools of liquid mercury that seemed to see everything at once. Maya had fought against the Valorians during the war, and she remembered how terrifying they were on the battlefield, moving faster than anything that size should move, and strong enough to tear through reinforced steel with their bare hands. But this one looked different somehow. She wore human clothes, a simple jacket and pants that looked strange on her frame, because nothing made for humans fit properly on a body that was built so differently, and she moved carefully like she was trying not to scare anyone as she walked toward the bar. Maya should have looked away, should have minded her own business the way she had been doing for 3 years since she came home, but something made her keep watching. The bartender was nervous. Maya could see it in the way his hands shook as he poured a drink and slid it across the bar, and the Valorian woman took it with hands that had 3 long fingers and a thumb. And Maya remembered those hands, remembered what they could do. The woman drank, alone, and Maya noticed how the other humans in the bar kept their distance, leaving empty seats on either side of her, like she carried some invisible boundary that no one wanted to cross. It made something twist in Maya's chest because she knew what it felt like to be isolated, to be the person no one wanted to sit next to because of what you used to be. She stood up before she could talk herself out of it, and walked across the bar and slid into the seat next to the Valorian woman. The alien turned those silver eyes toward her, and Maya saw surprise flicker across features that were almost human, but not quite, with a face that was longer and sharper than any human face and no nose, just small vents where a nose should be. "You do not fear me," the woman said in English that was perfect but had a strange musical quality to it, like she was singing instead of speaking. "I have seen scarier," Maya replied, and it was true, and also a lie because she had definitely been scared. During the war had felt terror crawl up her spine every time she faced Valorian soldiers in combat. The woman studied her for a long moment, and then something happened that Maya did not expect. She smiled. It was not a human smile. The movement was different, the way her face shifted, but Maya recognized it anyway. "You were military," the woman said, and it was not a question. "I can tell by the way you move." "So were you," Maya replied. "My name is Zara." The woman said, "I was a commander in the I-7th Fleet." "Maya Torres." Maya said, "Infantry division, nothing as fancy as a fleet commander." Zara made a sound that might have been a laugh and took another drink, and Maya ordered one for herself, and they sat in silence for a while. "Why did you come over here?" Zara asked finally. "The others avoid me." "Because I know what it feels like," Maya said simply, "to be treated like a weapon even after the war is over." Something shifted in Zara's expression, and for a moment Maya saw past the alien features and saw something she recognized. Something tired and lonely and trying to find a place in a world that did not know what to do with soldiers anymore. "They sent me here as part of the cultural exchange program," Zara said quietly, "to help build understanding between our species." "How is that working out?" Maya asked Zara, gestured at the empty seats around them. "As you can see very well." Maya snorted and took a drink, and the whiskey burned going down, but it was a familiar burn, a comfortable one. "Tell me something," Maya said. "What do Valorians do for fun?" Zara looked confused. "Fun?" "Yeah, entertainment, things you do when you are not working." We train, Zara said. We study combat techniques and improve our skills. That is what you did during the war, Maya said. What about now? Zara was quiet for a long time. I do not know. Maya felt that twist in her chest again because she understood that too. The feeling of not knowing who you were supposed to be when the fighting stopped. Come on, Maya said, standing up. I am going to show you something. Zara followed her out of the bar, and Maya led her through the streets of the city, and people stared at them as they walked, a human and a Valorian, walking side by side, but Maya ignored them the way she had learned to ignore a lot of things. She took Zara to the pier where the ocean stretched out dark and endless under the night sky, and sat down on the edge with her legs dangling over the water. Zara sat beside her, moving carefully like she was afraid she might break something. This is what humans do for fun, Zara asked, looking at the water. Sometimes, Maya said. Sometimes we just sit and look at things that are beautiful and do not think about anything else. Zara was quiet, and then she said, We do not have oceans on my world. No. No. We have crystal fields that sing when the wind blows through them, but nothing like this. They sat in silence and watched the waves, and Maya realized that the war had taken things from both of them. Things they could not get back, but maybe sitting here watching the ocean was a start at finding something new. Why did you help me? Zara asked. We were enemies. We were soldiers following orders, Maya said. That is different from being enemies. Is it? I think so, Maya said. I never hated Valorians. I was just scared of them, and I did what I had to do to survive. I was scared too, Zara admitted. Humans are small, but you are fierce, and you never give up even when you should. Maya smiled at that. Yeah, we are stubborn like that. Zara made that sound again, the one that might have been a laugh, and Maya realized she was starting to recognize the differences in Valorian expressions, the small shifts that meant different emotions. Can I ask you something? Maya said yes. Why did you really come to Earth? Zara was quiet for a long time, and Maya thought maybe she had pushed too far, but then Zara spoke. Because I lost too many friends during the war, and when it ended, I could not stay on my world surrounded by empty spaces where they used to be. Maya understood that too, the way grief could make familiar places feel like traps. I lost friends too, Maya said quietly. Good. People who should have had more time. They sat with that for a while, with the shared weight of loss and memory, and Maya thought about all the things the war had taken from both of them. I do not know how to be anything other than a soldier, Zara said finally, and her voice was so quiet, Maya almost did not hear it over the sound of the waves. I do not know what I am supposed to do now. Neither do I, Maya admitted. But maybe we can figure it out together. Zara turned those silver eyes toward her. Why would you want that? Because everyone needs a friend, Maya said. And because I think we might understand each other better than most people could understand either of us. Zara was quiet, and then slowly she reached out and placed one of those three-fingered hands on Maya's shoulder, and it was a Valorian gesture of trust and friendship, and Maya felt something warm bloom in her chest. I would like that, Zara said. They stayed on the pier until late, watching the water and talking about everything and nothing, and Maya told Zara about her family, and Zara told Maya about the crystal fields on her world. And somewhere in the space between words they started to build something new. Maya learned that Zara liked sweet things, which was funny because Valorians were supposed to be these fierce warriors, but she had a weakness for human candy. And Maya learned that Zara was trying to understand human music, but found it confusing because Valorian music was based on frequency patterns humans could not even hear. Zara learned that Maya had nightmares sometimes about the war, and that she lived alone because being around too many people made her anxious. And Zara admitted that she had the same problem, that crowds made her want to fight or flee. They started meeting at the pier every night, and slowly Maya introduced Zara to more human things like movies, which Zara found fascinating, and pizza, which she declared was the greatest human invention, and Maya learned about Valorian culture, about their history and their traditions and the things that made them who they were. Other humans started to notice, and some of them were not happy about it, and Maya got comments at the grocery store, and dirty looks on the street, but she did not care because for the first time since the war ended, she felt like she had found something worth protecting again. Not a country or a cause, but a friendship. One night Zara showed up at the pier looking different, and Maya could see the tension in her shoulders, the way she held herself like she was preparing for a fight. "What happened?" Maya asked. "There was an incident." Zara said, "Some humans attacked a Valorian diplomat in the